Another insurance topic today we're going to
Another
tackle.
one, yeah.
I know we can't get enough insurance, right? We just can't get enough insurance.
Yep.
Maybe we'll do some accounting later.
Yeah.
Make a day of it.
I'm game.
All right, so the other topic on insurance that I think boards get a little confused by is the wind-hail deductibles.
Yes, that's a confusing one.
It is. So this is something that's become standard in Minnesota. I don't know if you know this or not, Mark. I'm always enlightened to learn it myself and then share it with boards that are shocked. Minnesota for the last 5 years ranks in the top 3 each of the last 5 years for losses paid out.
Yeah, I heard a fact that policy carriers were paying out. It was around like $1.50 per dollar they took in premium last year.
Yep. It's a volatile market. But, you think of Florida and California dealing with hurricanes and natural disasters, and then there's Minnesota, the top of the Midwest that deals with
hailstorms.
And we've been the third most losses paid out.
I believe it.
Years. So what's happened because of that is carriers have now had pretty much a mandatory wind-hail deductible.
Yep.
So not uncommon for associations to now experience a moving target of that. So that's the topic today is that deductible. So what does it mean? It means that you've got a policy that covers the association and all the buildings or the building and the value of it. And now you might have a standard deductible of $20,000 or $50,000 or $10,000, whatever it might be for a loss.
Yep.
Fire, water, but on wind or mostly hail, right? On that type of a loss, it's not that standard deductible.
Nope.
It's a percentage.
Yep, and it's a percentage of your total building value.
Of the building value.
Yep. So just to give some context to that, I have an association that is 32 units. Their total building value is about $6 million. They had a hail claim from a storm this past year, and their deductible was about $120,000. So it's 2% of your total building value, not 2% of the cost of replacement of the roofs.
Right.
That's the key to understand.
Yep. And what's interesting about that is you need to do that cost, right? Because when this first was rolled out a handful of years ago, 1% was kind of the standard.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was 2%.
Now it's
higher. 5. Yeah.
5+ now. Yeah.
5 is now the most, I don't know if it's the most common, but it's becoming very common.
It's on the lower end.
And what's the problem with that?
At some point you're almost self-insuring.
You're not insuring your roof, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you take a quad home community, that 4 units share that particular roof.
Yeah.
And if that unit is valued at $1 million, what's 5% of that $1 million?
Yeah. You're looking at $50,000 right there.
$50,000.
Yeah.
And you know what? You can probably re-roof that thing for $30,000 to $40,000.
Yep. Yeah. So what's the point at that point? Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, that's what associations should be doing is look at that deductible, the percentage. What is the building valuation?
Yep.
And figure out, does
it make sense for us to have wind hail coverage at this deductible percentage?
So now that we know that that's an issue,
yeah.
let's just talk for a minute about how that is handled from an association perspective when there is a loss.
Yeah.
So that quad home community that I mentioned, so in that case, if the deductible is $50,000, there's 4 homes. So we're going to equally assess each of those homes. So I don't know what that...
12.5.
12.5.
Yep.
Thank you. You can do math in your head. I am not. So 12.5, right?
Yeah.
So, and what's the other issue with that? Is maybe the other loss, the other deductible rather. I'm sorry. The other deductible for other losses for fire or for water might be $10,000.
Yeah.
So a homeowner, when they did their HO6 policy for loss assessment, they might have only gotten $10,000 of coverage.
Yep, they might have capped it at what they thought was the highest deductible.
Right. So the primary loss deductible and the wind hail loss deductible might differ.
Yep.
So you better make sure in this case you have at least 12.5. So there's all these details that you need to really know about and be educated on, so you can navigate these issues of the percentage wind hail deductibles.
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there with rising percentage of wind hail deductibles. kind of weighing if it's even worth it. I mean, from a cost perspective. I mean,
Right.
at some point you're going to be self-insuring if that deductible gets high enough.
Right.
And then also being aware of what that actual dollar amount would be, so that when it comes time to, we have people reach out all the time about what policies they should get for their HO6 carrier,
Right.
or from their HO6 carrier. So knowing that loss assessment amount is huge.
Yep, for sure. It's a complicated topic. I don't know if we covered it any better for people, but hopefully they can read mud. Right?
Hopefully. Well, we swim in these, so you know where to find us. So.
All right. Well, thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Josh.